My friends, listen to me carefully. The greatest miracle that can ever happen in your life is not when God changes your circumstances, it's when God changes you. Because until you change, nothing changes. You can move to a new city, but if you carry the same mind, you will recreate the same problems in a different postcode. You can start a new job, but if you think the same way you did in the old one, you will meet the same frustrations wearing new uniforms. You can even enter a new year, but if you drag the old mindset across the line, it's not a new year, it's just an old life on a new calendar. I want you to hear this. Transformation does not begin with time, it begins with truth. And the first truth you must confront is that your life is always moving in the direction of your most dominant thoughts. Whatever you consistently think, you eventually become. That's why the scripture never said, be transformed by new circumstances. It said, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. The transformation of your environment begins with the renovation of your thoughts. You see, many people are praying for what they're not prepared to receive. They want a change of season without a change of system. They want new fruit without new roots. They want promotion without preparation. But life does not work like that. God will never promote you beyond the capacity of your mindset. That is why the greatest battlefield is not around you, it is within you. It's not in your job, it's not in your family, it's not in your finances, it's in your mind. If you lose there, you lose everywhere. But if you win there, no power on earth can hold you back. So today, I came to declare to you, this is your 30-day purpose reset. Not a casual exercise, not a motivational experiment, but a spiritual and mental renovation. For the next 30 days, you are going to challenge everything that has limited you. You are going to expose every thought that contradicts who you were created to be. You are going to pull down every lie that has kept you small, and you're going to build a new way of thinking, one that agrees with your purpose, not your past. Because hear me, you cannot enter a new life with an old mindset. Every destiny demands a different dimension of thinking. And until you upgrade your thoughts, you will always downgrade your future. Change doesn't begin when you move. Change begins when you decide. The moment you decide to think differently, heaven rearranges itself to accommodate your decision. That is why I tell people, miracles begin in the mind long before they appear in matter. You see, a decision is not an emotion, it's an act of authority. When you decide, you declare dominion over your old patterns. You tell your past, you have expired. You tell your fear, you no longer own my focus. You tell your excuses, you've been evicted from my imagination. Change, my friend, is not a season, it's a decision. And nothing changes until you do. So over the next 30 days, we are not going to chase results. We are going to reprogram roots. We are not going to manage habits. We're going to renew minds. We are going to stop patching the surface and start purifying the source. Because when the mind is renewed, the life must be transformed. So prepare yourself. This is not about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you've always been before fear educated you, before failure defined you, before culture confined you. You were created to think like a king, to live like a steward, and to rule with wisdom. But first, you must rebuild the throne of the mind. Say this after me. Nothing changes until I do. Again, nothing changes until I do. Now, let's begin this journey together, because your next season is waiting for a new mindset, and that new mindset begins today. Every product on earth is manufactured somewhere. Your phone was made in a factory. Your car was made in a factory. Your clothes were made in a factory. And I want you to understand today, your future is no different. Your future is being manufactured right now in the factory of your mind. Whatever you think about consistently, you are building a model of it inside you. That's why your life will always reproduce the patterns of your thinking. You cannot rise higher than your thoughts, because your thoughts are the architects of your reality. If you want to know where a person is going, don't ask for their goals, listen to their thinking. Every destiny every downfall, every deliverance begins as a thought. A thought is the seed of every action, the parent of every decision, the blueprint of every tomorrow. So if you want to change your life, stop fighting the fruit and start changing the root. And the root is always the mind. Let me tell you something. Your mind is the most powerful, the most dangerous, and the most sacred piece of real estate in the universe. It's the only territory where God and the devil both want ownership, because whoever controls your mind controls your movement. That's why the scripture says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. It didn't say as he wishes or as he prays. It said as he thinks. Prayer changes things, yes, but prayer without a renewed mind only recycles pain. You see, many people don't have a faith problem, they have a thinking problem. They believe in God, but think like victims. They go to church, but reason like prisoners. They speak faith, but imagine failure. And as long as your imagination is infected, your manifestation will be restricted. The mind is where God begins his work. Before he gives you new provision, he gives you new perception. Before he changes your address, he changes your awareness. You can't enter the promised land with a wilderness mentality. The children of Israel left Egypt physically, but Egypt never left their minds, and that's why they died in the desert. God had freedom ready for them, but their minds were still married to bondage. You can never possess what you have not mentally permitted. Let me tell you a principle. Whatever your mind can contain, your life will eventually sustain. If your mind cannot hold abundance, your life will reject it. If your mind cannot picture peace, your life will keep attracting chaos. That's not superstition, that's spiritual law. Because your mind is the soil where your life grows. And soil does not decide what it produces, it only grows what you plant. So I must ask you, what seeds are in your soil? What are you feeding your thoughts every day? Are you nourishing your mind with fear, comparison, complaint, and gossip? Or are you feeding it with truth, vision, purpose, and gratitude? Because just like your body becomes what you eat, your mind becomes what you meditate on. Whatever you consistently allow in your head will soon become visible in your habits. That's why I tell people, never outsource your thinking. Most people are not thinking, they're just remembering. They're walking around with secondhand convictions, inherited opinions, borrowed beliefs. They rent popular perspectives instead of owning personal revelation. But a renewed mind refuses to be a tenant of culture. It becomes the landlord of conviction. A strong mind doesn't follow trends, it follows truth. It doesn't wait for consensus, it operates by conviction. It doesn't echo the crowd, it establishes clarity. That's mental authority. That's what separates leaders from followers, thinkers from imitators, creators from complainers. And I want you to write this somewhere in your heart. Your circumstances are mirrors of your mindset. If you want to change what you see, change how you see. That's the law. It's unbreakable, unchangeable, undeniable. The mind is the factory of your future. If you don't like what's coming off the assembly line of your life, it's time to change the design in your thoughts. Don't just wish for a better life, think a better life. Don't just pray for a new year, prepare a new mind. Because when the mind is renewed, the man is reborn. And when the man is reborn, the future must respond. So before we move into the next stage of this journey, settle this once and for all. You are not waiting on opportunity. Opportunity is waiting on the upgrade of your mind. You are not trapped by circumstance. You are limited by perception. And perception can change today. Say this with me. My mind is my factory. My thoughts are my tools. My future is my product. Now we are ready to begin construction. Before you can live differently, you must believe differently about who you are. Because identity is the foundation of destiny. You will never rise higher than the way you see yourself. If you think small, you will live small. If you think unworthy, you will settle for crumbs when you were born to sit at the table. If you see yourself as a mistake, you will treat purpose as an accident. That's why your first 7 days are not about doing more, they're about becoming aware. You see, the greatest crisis in the world is not an economic crisis. It is not a political crisis. It is not even a moral crisis. It is an identity crisis. People don't know who they are. They confuse their job with their purpose, their title with their value, their achievements with their worth. And so they keep performing, pretending, and proving, trying to earn what they already are. But hear me, you don't perform to become valuable. You are valuable, therefore you perform. Your value doesn't come from your position, it comes from your source. Now listen carefully. In this universe, everything finds its identity in its source. If I hold up a wooden chair and ask, what is this? You'll say, it's wood. If I ask, what is wood? You'll say, it came from a tree. That means the chair's identity is connected to the tree. If the chair ever wants to know what it is capable of, it must consult the nature of the tree it came from. You came out of God. That means the essence of your being carries the DNA of divinity. You are not a random experiment. You are an intentional expression. You are a thought from the mind of God manifested in time. You carry his image, his nature, his creative potential. That's why mediocrity frustrates you, because it contradicts your nature. For these first 7 days, your assignment is not to chase a goal, it is to reclaim your identity. You must begin to speak to yourself like someone who remembers where they came from. Say it aloud every morning. I am purpose, not coincidence. I am design, not accident. I am created, not constructed. I am sent, not stranded. When you begin to affirm who you are, your mind starts to rewrite its programming. Because most of us were raised under mental software written by fear, comparison, and culture. Society taught you to measure yourself by possessions instead of potential, by popularity instead of purpose. But culture cannot define what it did not create. That's why the first phase of your renewal must be detox. You must unplug from the voices that keep telling you you're not enough. For 7 days, silence the noise. Replace the feed of opinions with the word of truth. Read something every day that reminds you who you are before the world named you. And let me warn you, identity will always be tested. When Jesus was baptized, the heavens opened and God declared, "This is my beloved Son." And the very next chapter, the devil said, "If you are the Son of God," the first attack against any destiny is always an attack on identity. If the enemy can make you doubt who you are, he can control what you do. Because confused identity produces compromised decisions. So this week, don't just ask, what am I supposed to do? Ask, who am I becoming? Because doing flows from being. You don't need more activity, you need more awareness. You don't need another goal, you need a revelation of self. Let me show you something powerful. When a lion walks through the jungle, he is not the biggest animal the elephant is. He's not the fastest the cheetah is. He's not the strongest the rhino is. Yet when the lion shows up, everything runs. Why? Because of how he thinks. The lion's power is not in his size, it's in his self-perception. The lion believes he's king, and that belief commands behavior. Your environment responds to your internal conviction. So if you want the world to treat you like royalty, you must think like one. Not arrogantly, but accurately according to your original design. Kingship is not pride, it is purpose recognized. Therefore, for the next 7 days, feed your identity. Read one truth about who you are every morning. Speak your identity, declare it aloud before the day begins. Protect your identity. Avoid any environment that insults your purpose. Because you cannot build a strong future on a broken identity. You can't create new outcomes with an old self-concept. Until you rediscover who you are, you'll keep repeating what you were. My friend, this is your identity reset. It's time to reclaim your original blueprint, the one written before fear rewrote your story. God did not create you to survive life. He created you to represent him on earth. You are not a reactor to circumstances. You are a creator of influence. You are not a product of environment. You are an environment of purpose. So declare it today, not with arrogance, but with awareness. I know who I am. I know whose I am. And I know why I am. Because until you rediscover who you are, you will never know what you're capable of. And when you finally remember your true identity, fear will lose its vocabulary and purpose will find its voice. Failure, a word that has imprisoned more dreams than fear itself. But hear me today, failure was never meant to destroy you. It was designed to develop you. It is not the enemy of progress. It is the evidence that you tried. Failure is not the tomb of purpose. It is the classroom of greatness. Every champion you admire graduated from the University of Failure. The only people who never fail are those who never attempt. And those who never attempt never discover who they truly are. I want to teach you something that will change your relationship with loss forever. Failure does not define you, it refines you. It doesn't prove your weakness, it reveals your process. The difference between the great and the average is not that one never fell, it's that one decided to get back up differently. Listen carefully, there is no such thing as failure to a person of purpose. Because purpose has the power to turn everything, even mistakes, into material for mastery. Romans says all things work together for good. That means all things, success and setback, victory and vulnerability, triumph and tears. God is so masterful that he can take your worst moment and make it the foundation for your greatest wisdom. So as we enter days 8 to 14, I want you to see every disappointment, every rejection, every mistake through new eyes. You did not fail, you were trained. You did not fall, you were forged. You did not lose, you learned. Your pain was not punishment, it was preparation. When I was young, I asked the Lord, why do you allow us to fail? And the Spirit said to me, because success without wisdom destroys men faster than failure ever will. Some lessons can only be learned in the valley. It is in the silence after a loss that God installs the software of humility, endurance, and discernment. Let me show you something powerful. When you plant a seed, it must first die in the soil before it can live again. The shell cracks, the foam breaks, and it disappears underground, unseen. To the untrained eye, that looks like failure. But to the farmer, it's called process. And the process is proof that life is working beneath the surface. So don't despise your break-in. Celebrate it. Every crack is evidence that growth is underway. If the seed doesn't break, the life inside it remains trapped. So when you feel like something in you has cracked a plan, a relationship, a dream, I remember sometimes God allows the outer shell to break so the inner strength can emerge. Here's what I want you to do for these 7 days. List every failure you still regret. Write them out. Don't run from them. For each one, extract the lesson. What did it teach you about yourself? About people? About God? Replace the word failure with feedback, because until you rename your pain, you'll never redeem it. You see, your brain and your spirit respond to language. When you call something failure, you close your heart. When you call it feedback, you open your mind. And the mind that remains open will always find wisdom in the wreckage. Most people keep reliving their mistakes because they never redefine them. They let failure become identity instead of instruction. But I came to tell you, your failure was a moment, not your makeup. You may have lost the battle, but you are still built for victory. A fall is not final unless you refuse to rise. Let me remind you of something. Even Jesus was not exempt from what looked like failure. He was betrayed, denied, crucified, publicly humiliated. For 3 days, it looked like he had lost. But that apparent defeat was heaven's hidden strategy. What men call failure, God called fulfillment. So be careful how quickly you label your seasons. Sometimes your crucifixion is just a setup for your resurrection. Say this with me. Am I free? My failures are not final. My mistakes are my mentors. My setbacks are setups for strength. You are not meant to escape failure. You are meant to extract wisdom from it. Every time you fall, ask the question, what truth is this trying to teach me? Because revelation is expensive and failure is often the tuition. And I want you to remember this principle. The pain you avoid today becomes the weakness you face tomorrow. Don't run from failure. Face it. Reflect on it. Redeem it. Then rise from it. When you begin to think this way, failure loses its power to shame you. It becomes a servant in your journey instead of a shadow over your destiny. Because nothing that happened to you is wasted, not one tear, not one mistake, not one closed door. God doesn't waste experience. He recycles it into excellence. So for the next 7 days, I want you to walk differently. When you remember what went wrong, thank God you survived it. When you think of who walked away, thank God they made room for who's coming next. When you recall the opportunities you lost, thank God he was protecting you from premature exposure. Everything that left you made space for something that fits you. The weak mind blames. The strong mind learns. The defeated mind complains. The renewed mind reinterprets. The wise mind turns pain into power. And that is your assignment for this week, to turn every loss into learning. Because once you understand this principle, you never fear failure again. You realize that what you call the end is often the earth shifting beneath your feet to plant you where you belong. You stop running from mistakes and start mining them for gold. So lift your head, child of destiny. You didn't fail, you evolved. You didn't lose, you learned the laws of life. And when wisdom becomes your wealth, no defeat can bankrupt you again. Your mind is a garden. And just like any garden, it does not choose what grows there, you do. If you plant weeds, weeds will come. If you plant seeds, fruit will come. Whatever you allow to enter your mind will eventually manifest in your life. You see, most people are praying for harvests that their environments will never allow. They want peace, but they live in noise. They want clarity, but they entertain confusion. They want growth, but they stay planted in concrete. And so they wonder, why isn't my life changing? The answer is simple. You cannot grow in the wrong environment. When God wanted to grow Adam, he didn't just make the man, he prepared the environment. Before he gave him purpose, he gave him a place called Eden, a word that means delight, order, atmosphere. Because even God knew that purpose dies in the wrong atmosphere. Your gifts, your vision, your discipline, they all depend on the air you breathe mentally and spiritually. I tell people all the time, association determines acceleration. If you walk with the wise, you will become wise. If you walk with the foolish, you will stumble in their patterns. If you surround yourself with dreamers, your imagination will expand. If you surround yourself with complainers, your spirit will shrink. Write this down. Environment is stronger than willpower. You can have the best intentions, but if you stay in toxic soil, even your best seed will suffocate. That's why for the next 7 days, I want you to audit your environment. The 3 gates of the mind. There are 3 doors through which your environment enters your soul. The ear gate, what you hear. The eye gate, what you see. The mouth gate, what you say. Let's deal with each one. 1, the ear gate, God, what you hear. Faith comes by hearing, but so does fear. Your ear is the entry point to your belief system. What you continually hear becomes what you eventually believe. That's why you must be careful who has the right to speak into your life. Some people sound wise, but carry poison in their words. They plant doubt disguised as concern, envy disguised as advice. Protect your ears. Limit access. Because not everyone who talks to you deserves your attention. You can't build a palace listening to people who live in prisons of negativity. For the next 7 days, listen intentionally. Feed your mind with teaching that stretches you, not gossip that shrinks you. Play messages that remind you of destiny, not drama that drains it. 2, the eye gate guard, what you see. The eyes are windows to the mind. Whatever you watch long enough becomes normal to you. That's why culture keeps showing you corruption until you call it culture. It keeps showing you compromise until you call it convenience. Your mind mirrors what your eyes meditate on. If all you see is limitation, soon your imagination will lose its wings. If all you see is abundance, your faith will begin to expand. That's why vision is not optional, it's survival. For these 7 days, take a visual fast. Avoid images that trigger envy or comparison. Watch content that provokes purpose, not content that promotes pity. Look at what uplifts your soul, because your eyes are projectors of your future. Whatever you focus on expands. 3, the mouth gate guard what you say. Your words are the thermostat of your environment. They don't describe your world, they decide it. You can't speak death and expect to live in life. You can't speak lack and expect to walk in abundance. You can't curse your day at sunrise and expect joy by sunset. You must align your mouth with your mission. Speak what you want, not what you fear. Confess what you believe, not what you see. Because your environment doesn't just exist around you, it responds to you. So every morning this week, I want you to declare, I create peace wherever I stand. I attract wisdom wherever I walk. I carry favor wherever I go. Now, hear this. Every environment carries an atmosphere, and every atmosphere influences attitude. That's why some places make you dream and others make you doubt. Some people multiply your courage, others multiply your confusion. You must learn to discern what nourishes and what depletes you. If an environment makes you smaller, it is not your soil. If it makes you compromise what you value, it is not your Eden. Don't stay in places where your potential must shrink to make others comfortable. You were not designed to fit in. You were designed to transform. And transformation always begins with separation. Separation is not rejection, it's refinement. God often removes you from certain circles, not because you're better than them, but because what he's building in you requires cleaner air. When an eagle grows new feathers, it flies to higher altitudes to mold away the old ones. That's what you must do this week. Fly higher to renew your environment. The people around you are either fertilizer or fungus. They either help you grow or make you decay. So for 7 days, evaluate the company you keep. Don't hate them, but honor your purpose enough to protect it. You can't expect kingdom fruit in friendship soil that breeds weeds of doubt. And let me remind you of this law. Exposure is education. Whatever you expose yourself to, you eventually emulate. If you keep watching excellence, you begin to express it. If you stay around visionaries, your creativity will catch fire. If you keep exposing your mind to mediocrity, your greatness will fall asleep. Wake it up by changing what you expose yourself to. So this week, your assignment is clear. Detox your input. Filter what enters your mind. Discern your company. Distance from those who drain your peace. Design your atmosphere. Play teaching, music, and words that elevate your frequency, because the mind cannot flourish in polluted air. Clean the environment and clarity will return. Purify the atmosphere and creativity will flow again. Guard your garden and your growth will be inevitable. Say this with me. I am the gardener of my mind. I choose the seeds. I control the soil. I determine the harvest. For the next 7 days, make your environment a prophecy of your future. Let everything around you remind you of who you are becoming. Because destiny is not a mystery, it's a product of atmosphere. And when the air changes, the fruit must follow. There comes a time in every person's journey when belief must become backbone. It's easy to have faith when the wind is calm, but real conviction is tested in the storm. You don't know what you truly believe until what you believe is tested. Conviction is not emotion, it is not excitement, it is certainty under pressure. Conviction means I have decided what I will not change my mind about. And hear me, if you don't decide what you stand for, life will decide it for you. Let me define conviction the way heaven defines it. Conviction is the immovable belief that endures evidence to the contrary. It is the inner law that does not negotiate with convenience. It is the voice of truth that refuses to drown under noise. Conviction is what keeps a person upright when everything around them bends. Conviction is what makes a person stand when the crowd kneels to comfort. Conviction is what separates the committed from the curious. For these next 5 days, you are going to build a mind that cannot be bought, broken, or bribed. Because you will not survive this world with opinion, you need conviction. Opinions change with the weather. Convictions stand through storms. 1. Conviction versus preference. Many people confuse preference for conviction. A preference is what you hold until pressure comes. A conviction is what holds you when pressure comes. Preferences say, I'll do what's right if it's popular. Conviction says, I'll do what's right because it's right. A preference lives on comfort. Conviction lives on clarity. A preference changes when the crowd disagrees. Conviction grows stronger in opposition. When Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stood before Nebuchadnezzar, they didn't need to deliberate. Their conviction had been settled long before the fire appeared. Conviction always decides early. That's why the fire couldn't change their confession. You can't burn what is already purified. 2. The foundation of conviction, principles. Every strong mind is built on principles. Principles are eternal truths that do not submit to seasons. Opinions shift, cultures evolve, emotions fluctuate, but principles remain. A principle is truth that works anywhere, anytime, with anyone. It's not Western or Eastern. It's not ancient or modern. It's universal. If you want to be unshakable, build your mind on principles, not personalities. Because people will disappoint you, but principles never will. You don't need to reinvent truth. You need to rediscover it and apply it. Write this down. When principles become your compass, storms become your classroom. 3. Taking responsibility. The first principle of power. The first principle you must build your conviction upon is responsibility. I am responsible for my life, not my parents, not the government, not the economy, me. As long as you keep blaming others, you give them power over your destiny. When you take responsibility, you take back authority. It is impossible to be powerful and blameful at the same time. Every day this week, wake up and declare, I take full responsibility for my growth, my thoughts, and my future. That statement may seem small, but is revolutionary. Because when you accept responsibility, you activate potential. You move from victimhood to victory. 4. Problems are not punishment, they are opportunities for growth. Here is another principle of conviction. Problems are not barriers, they are bridges. They are not sent to stop you, they are sent to shape you. The weak mind runs from problems, the strong mind runs toward them. Because every problem is a teacher in disguise. When you face a challenge, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Wisdom hides in difficulty. Strength is sculpted by struggle. Every great invention, every great movement, every great life came through a problem properly interpreted. Don't waste your problems, they are divine classrooms. 5. Conviction about your worth. You must also establish conviction about your value. Too many people negotiate their worth because they've never discovered its source. Listen to me, your value is inherent, not earned. You don't need to perform to be worthy. You were already approved before the audition. Your worth was sealed in creation. When you believe this, rejection loses its sting. Criticism becomes feedback, not condemnation. Failure becomes information, not identity. When your worth is non-negotiable, your mind becomes unshakable. Say this with me. My value is not up for discussion. 6. The cost of conviction. Every genuine conviction will cost you something. It might cost you popularity. It might cost you comfort. It might even cost you relationships. But hear me, what costs nothing changes nothing. The depth of your conviction is measured by the price you're willing to pay for it. You cannot lead nations if you fear the opinion of neighbors. You cannot fulfill destiny while addicted to approval. Conviction gives you the courage to stand alone because truth never travels in crowds. Crowds follow comfort. Leaders follow conviction. 7, living from conviction. A mind built on conviction lives with peace. It doesn't panic when storms come. It interprets storms as confirmation of direction. Because if the wind is blowing against you, it means you're moving forward. Ships are not built to stay in harbors. They're designed to face the sea. When you have conviction, you stop reacting and start responding. You stop living emotionally and start living intentionally. Conviction turns chaos into clarity. It makes you calm under pressure because you've already decided who you are before the test arrives. So this week, as you go through your 30-day purpose reset, I want you to write 3 convictions that will define your next season. They can sound like this. I will never compromise my integrity for acceptance. I will turn every obstacle into opportunity. I will live by principle, not popularity. Every morning, read them aloud until your mind memorizes your truth. Every time pressure comes, repeat them until fear submits. Because when conviction becomes habit, consistency becomes effortless. Say this now with authority. I know what I believe. I know why I believe it. And I will not be moved. Conviction does not shout, it stands. It does not fight for attention. It simply endures until truth proves it right. When you live from conviction, you become a pillar in a collapsing world. And the world is desperate for pillars right now. So for these 5 days, build yours. Let conviction become your compass, your code, your character. And when the storms come, and they will, you will not fall. Because your roots will be deep, your mind will be firm, and your faith will be unshakable. Now, my friend, we have come to the final stretch before your transformation becomes visible. You have renewed your identity. You have redefined your failures. You have cleansed your environment. You have anchored your conviction. Now it is time for the proof application. Because revelation without application is delusion. You can quote truth and still live in chains if you never apply it. You can attend seminars, read books, say amen in every service, but until you act on what you know, your knowledge remains potential, not power. That is why the scripture does not bless hearers. It says, blessed are those who do. The blessing is not in the information, it's in the implementation. For too long, people have mistaken learning for progress. But learning is only potential energy. Application is kinetic energy. It moves you forward. The difference between thinkers and achievers is not IQ, it's implementation. The world rewards not those who know truth, but those who use it. So in these next 3 days, you must practice the law of execution. Say it with me. What I apply becomes mine. Knowledge unapplied remains theory. But once you apply it, it becomes testimony. 1, the faith action principle. Faith without works is dead. Belief without behavior is empty. You prove what you believe not by your words, but by your walk. That's why I call it the faith action loop. Think, believe, speak, act, repeat. Your mind conceives. Your heart believes. Your mouth declares. Your hands perform. And then your results reinforce your belief. That's how transformation multiplies. Stop waiting for motivation. Movement creates momentum. When you act, heaven reacts. When you move, doors appear. When you obey, grace flows. Miracles are not magic. They are motion meeting revelation. Every time you step toward purpose, provision steps toward you. That's why God told Joshua, every place the sole of your foot shall tread, I have given it. Notice not where you wish to tread, but where you walk. God doesn't bless intention, he blesses execution. 2, start small, but start now. Many people delay destiny because they're waiting for perfection. They say, when I have more time, when I have more money, when I have more confidence. But you will never have perfect conditions. You must move with what you have, where you are, toward what you see. Greatness is not built in leaps, it is built in steps. Small, consistent obedience is the architecture of success. So stop waiting for the big opportunity, obey in the small one. A consistent seed will always outperform an occasional harvest. If you can't steward 1 hour, God will not give you the day. If you can't manage one idea, he will not trust you with a vision. So begin with what's in your hand, because destiny always starts in small beginnings. 3, the discipline of daily practice. Application demands discipline. And discipline is not punishment, it is preparation. It is the training that transforms potential into performance. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. Habits are the machinery of destiny. They turn ideas into results and intentions into impact. That's why I want you to choose one new habit to practice for these next 3 days, something that aligns with your purpose. It could be journaling your gratitude, rising earlier, reading a chapter of truth each morning, writing your goals before bed, mentoring one person, or forgiving someone silently. Don't try to do everything, do something and do it consistently. Because success is not about intensity, it's about consistency. God doesn't bless what you occasionally visit, he blesses what you faithfully cultivate. 4, the power of testing and adjustment. Application also means evaluation. Do not fear feedback. Feedback is fertilizer. When something doesn't work, don't see it as failure, see it as data. Winners adjust. Losers argue. Excellence requires experimentation. Try, test, refine, repeat. That is how leaders grow. Even God created in stages, let there be light, and it was good. Each day, he inspected what he made. If the Creator took time to evaluate his creation, you must evaluate your progress. At the end of each day, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I learn today? What did I practice today? What will I improve tomorrow? That's how you convert days into development. 5, courage to act despite fear. Let me tell you a secret. Courageous people are not fearless, they are faithful. Fear doesn't disappear. You simply learn to move while it trembles. Courage is obedience in motion. It's when you act on instruction, not emotion. The miracle you're praying for is often waiting on the step you're afraid to take. Peter only walked on water when he stepped out of the boat. Faith grows legs when you move toward the unknown. Fear paralyzes imagination. Faith activates creation. So in these final days, practice doing one thing every day that fear told you not to do. Make that phone call. Start that plan. End that compromise. Take the step even if it shakes you. Because obedience today will become authority tomorrow. 6, application unlocks authority. You see, authority in life does not come from titles, it comes from testing truth. When you practice what you know, you gain the right to teach it. When you live what you preach, your words carry weight. Authority is earned through obedience. This is why Jesus didn't just know the word, he became it. That's the secret. Transformation is not memorization, it's embodiment. You don't change by hearing truth, you change by becoming truth. And the only way to become truth is through application. 7, the reward of doing. Once you act, results follow always. The law of cause and effect is divine. What you sow, you must reap. But sowing means doing. Doers are history makers. The Bible says the doers of the word shall be blessed in their deed. Notice, not blessed in their dream, not blessed in their desire, blessed in their deed. Blessing meets you at the level of your doing. And when you begin to act, confidence replaces confusion. Action creates clarity. Movement breeds revelation. You will begin to see new doors because motion unlocks dimension. So for these 3 days, I want you to live like this. Day 27, choose one truth you've learned and act on it immediately. Day 28, evaluate the result and refine the habit. Day 29, repeat the process and declare, I am a doer, not a dreamer. Remember this forever. God never blesses intention, he blesses implementation. Faith is not believing God can, it's acting like he already has. So rise up and act. Don't wait for a sign, become the sign. Don't wait for doors knock until they open. Don't wait for change, move until it manifests. Say this with me. Nate, I am not waiting for opportunity. I am walking in it. I will act on what I know. I will become what I believe. And I will finish what I start. Because doing is the bridge between revelation and realization. And when you cross that bridge, your destiny will no longer be potential. It will be performance. You've made it. 30 days of intentional transformation. 30 days of mental renovation. 30 days of rediscovering the power of your mind. And today we seal it. Because today is not just another day. Today is a ceremony. A ceremony is not an event. It is a declaration of transition. It is when one season bows and another one begins. It is when the old self shakes hands with the new self and says, my work is finished. And so, my friend, welcome to your renewal ceremony. You are not here to repeat another year. You are here to create one. You are not entering time. You are entering transformation. You are not waiting for the future. The future is waiting for you. Let's begin where all change begins, in the mind. 1, review the journey. For 30 days, you have been rebuilding the inner architecture of your destiny. You started with your identity reset, rediscovering who you are in your source. You learned that you are not defined by labels, losses, or limitations, but by divine design. Then you embraced the failure reset, where pain became your professor and mistakes became your mentors. You stopped calling it failure and started calling it feedback. You saw that every defeat carried hidden instruction. You cleansed your environment, the garden of your mind. You guarded your ear gate, your eye gate, your mouth gate. You decided that peace is not a gift you wait for, it is an atmosphere you build. You establish conviction, the unshakable principles that anchor you in every storm. You discover that conviction costs something, but it buys you everything. And then you practice application, turning revelation into reality. You acted on what you knew until truth became habit and knowledge became lifestyle. Now, on this 30th day, it is time to seal the transformation. Not as an idea, but as identity. 2, renewal begins with remembrance. The first law of renewal is remembrance. Never forget what God has taught you in the silence. Memory is the mother of mastery. When you remember, you reinforce. When you recall, you rebuild. And when you rehearse truth, it becomes instinct. So today, take a moment not to ask, but to acknowledge. Acknowledge how far you've come. Acknowledge the battles you survived. Acknowledge the thoughts you've conquered. You are not the same person who began this journey 30 days ago. You may look the same outwardly, but inwardly, new construction has taken place. Walls of fear have fallen. Foundations of purpose have been laid. Windows of clarity have been opened. Say this softly to yourself. I thank God for my renewal. I thank him for my mind. I thank him for my process. 3, the mind as sacred territory. Now listen to me. From this day forward, treat your mind as holy ground. Don't let just anyone walk through it. Don't let just anything grow in it. Don't let confusion find a bed in it. You are the custodian of the most powerful creation tool in existence, your mind. With it, you design your world. With it, you shape nations. With it, you speak destiny into motion. God gave you that mind not to memorize problems, but to manufacture solutions. Not to repeat history, but to rewrite it. Not to chase success, but to create significance. So from this day forward, think on purpose. Think truth. Think possibilities. Think principles. because thought is the womb of creation. Whatever you think long enough, you will give birth to. 4, aligning thought, speech, and action. Renewal is not just in thinking differently, it's in living differently. So today, align your mind, your mouth, and your movement. Let your mind conceive only what reflects your source. Let your mouth confess only what agrees with your conviction. Let your movement confirm only what you believe. This alignment is divine architecture. It creates harmony between heaven's will and your daily walk. When your thoughts, words, and actions agree, power flows unhindered. Heaven cooperates with clarity. Say this aloud. From today, my thoughts serve my purpose. My words reinforce my faith. My actions manifest my conviction. 5, the blueprint of a new year. Now we laid a blueprint for your new year, not a wish list, but a vision plan. Stop living by reaction. Start living by design. Ask yourself 3 questions as you enter this next season. Who must I become this year? What must I master this year? What must I release this year? Because destiny is not about addition, it is often about subtraction. Growth is not always gaining, sometimes it's shedding. Shedding fear, shedding indecision, shedding every thought that contradicts your divine nature. This is your architectural work to construct a year that reflects the renewed you. Not a year built by default, but a year built by design. 6, the act of dedication. Now, dedicate your renewed mind. Consecrate it like a temple, because that's what it is. You are the sanctuary of thought through which divine ideas enter the world. Say it with authority. I dedicate my mind to wisdom. I dedicate my words to truth. I dedicate my work to excellence. I dedicate my days to purpose. This is not poetry, this is prophecy. What you dedicate becomes divine. And what you make sacred, heaven will protect. From this day, treat your time as treasure. Treat your thoughts as resources. Treat your purpose as royal assignment. Because you are no longer a wanderer, you are an architect. You don't wait for the future to happen, you design it with discipline. 7, declaration of renewal. Now, I want you to speak this as a decree, like a king reclaiming his crown. Raise your head, square your shoulders, and say it from the depths of conviction. This is my renewal ceremony. My old thoughts are gone. My new mind has come. I am no longer a prisoner of fear. I am a steward of faith. I no longer follow opinion. I live by principle. My vision is clear. My purpose is alive. My conviction is unshakable. I create. I lead. I transform. I am the architect of my year, the builder of my destiny, and the servant of my source. Let that declaration echo inside you until it becomes identity. Because once a mind declares truth, the universe rearranges to obey it. 8, closing charge. And now, as this 30-day purpose reset concludes, I charge you, never go back to small thinking. Never shrink to fit the expectations of others. Never apologize for clarity. Never trade your conviction for comfort. And never forget, nothing changes until you do. You are no longer the product of circumstance. You are the producer of destiny. You are no longer seeking purpose. You are walking in it. The next year of your life will not happen to you. It will happen through you. Go, therefore, and think like a king. Create like a leader. Live like a steward. And every day, remind yourself, my life is the proof of a renewed mind. The ceremony is complete, but your creation has just begun. My friend, look at where you've come from. 30 days ago, you began this journey asking for change, and today, you are that change. The evidence of renewal is not that the world around you looks different, it's that you look at the world differently. Because when your mind changes, everything changes. A new mind creates a new world. You don't need new circumstances, you need new sight. You don't need a new start, you need a new state of mind. The greatest transformation you will ever experience is not relocation, but revelation. Once you see life through the lens of purpose, you can never unsee it again. 1. The world within creates the world without. Everything you see around you began in someone's mind. Cities were first thoughts. Airplanes were first imaginations. Empires were first ideas. And so is your life. Your inner world governs your outer world. That's why the first chapter of creation begins with the words, and God said, before there was light, there was thought. Before there was earth, there was imagination. God showed us a principle. The outer world is born from inner vision. So when you renew your mind, you are not just changing opinions, you are reprogramming creation itself. You are a thinking spirit. And whatever spirit thinks consistently becomes reality. That is why heaven's greatest gift to you was not time, talent, or treasure. It was the ability to think like your source, to imagine the unseen and call it into being. 2, the power of perception. Your perception is your passport. 2 people can walk through the same door. One sees opportunity, the other sees opposition. The difference is not in what they see, but in how they see. When your mind is renewed, what used to intimidate you now inspires you. The mountain that once looked impossible becomes your training ground. The problem that used to drain you becomes the platform that develops you. Because a changed mind reinterprets everything through the language of purpose. Hear this law. Life does not give you what you want. Life gives you what you think. If you want peace, think peace. If you want wisdom, think wisdom. If you want impact, think in principles that create it. Because thought is the seed of all manifestation. 3, a renewed mind releases creativity. You were born to create, not to copy. You were designed to innovate, not to imitate. The world doesn't need another echo. It needs your original voice. When your mind is renewed, you stop asking, who will let me? And start declaring, who can stop me? You stop competing with others and start completing your assignment. You stop craving recognition and start carrying revelation. Every great movement in history was started by one person who refused to think like everyone else. You are that person for this generation. You are that thinker heaven can trust with solutions. Because the kingdom is advanced not by repetition, but by revelation. 4, the law of reflection. Your outer life is a mirror. It reflects the images projected by your inner conversation. If you keep speaking defeat, you'll keep living in it. If you keep imagining fear, you'll keep attracting it. But if you begin to meditate on truth, on power, on possibility, your reflection must change. A mirror doesn't argue, it simply reveals what's in front of it. That's how life works. When you renew your mind, the mirror of reality has no choice but to follow. You don't fight the reflection, you fix the image. You don't break the mirror, you change the face in front of it. 5, the discipline of maintenance. Renewal is not a moment, it's a maintenance program. You must keep your mind renewed daily. Just as your body needs constant nourishment, your mind needs consistent truth. Don't allow old patterns to sneak back in like weeds in a garden. Keep weeding, keep watering, keep watching. That's why the word says, be transformed by the renewing, continual, ongoing of your mind. Not renewed once, but constantly refreshed. Because every new level of life demands a new level of thinking. Yesterday's mindset cannot manage tomorrow's miracles. So make reflection a habit. Spend time each day reviewing your thoughts, replacing what doesn't align, and reinforcing what empowers. You are both the gardener and the guard of your mind. 6, your mind, your mandate. Hear me, you were born for influence. You were not created to blend in, but to bear fruit. And fruit is simply visible evidence of invisible thinking. When your thoughts are in order, your world will be in order. Your family, your business, your nation, they all rise or fall to the level of your mindset. So if you want to serve God, start by stewarding your thoughts, because right thinking is worship. Discipline is devotion. Excellence is prayer made visible. That is how the kingdom manifests, not through noise, but through renewed minds governing the earth with wisdom. 7, the closing benediction. And now, as we close this journey, I speak this blessing over you. May your mind remain a throne of clarity and peace. May your thoughts attract truth and repel deception. May your convictions anchor you when storms arise. May your creativity flow without limit. May your words build worlds that glorify your source. May every day you live from now on reflect the greatness that has been renewed within you, because you have changed your mind, and when the mind changes, destiny cannot remain the same. 8, final declaration. Now, repeat this after me, not as motivation, but as a covenant. I am renewed. My mind is free. My purpose is alive. My thoughts are aligned. My vision is clear. My actions are disciplined. My conviction is unshakable. My words are creative. My life is evidence of transformation. And I declare to you, the world will never be the same again. Because wherever a renewed mind walks, new creation follows. So step out of this lesson, not as a listener, but as a leader of thought. Go and build the future God showed you. Live by principle. Lead with wisdom. And remember forever, change your mind and you change your world. That is the law of transformation. That is the gospel of renewal. That is the legacy of your 30-day purpose reset. The lesson is complete. The ceremony is sealed. The transformation has begun. Go and let your new world begin.